Tonight's episode is brought to you by Danhausen. He said he would curse us if tonight's episode was not sponsored by him, so it is totally brought to you by Danhausen. Tonight on Ramblers Unleashed. Why is Max talking about Survivor Series in July? Did Grandpa remember to take his meds before the show? If you think it's weird that Max is talking about Survivor Series in July, wait until you see what he has in store for the Baron. All this and more next on Ramblers Unleashed. This is Max Magius. My co-host would have you believe that kids shouldn't be listening to our show because we use fucking bad language. I say they have to learn sometimes, so put the little shit next to the computer and viewer discretion is advised.
The wrestling podcast that sets all other podcasts apart. Covering news from the world of WWE, AEW, TNA, and more. Your favorite weekly episodic podcast, Ramblers Unleashed, starts now.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ramblers Unleashed. We are the Ramblers, and we have been unleashed on you, the viewing audience. Dizzy is on special assignment tonight. He's reliving the DX invasion angle of WCW. We miss you. We'll see you back soon. Now, let's introduce the Ramblers. Up first, a man who would never leave me high and dry. Well, not dry at least. And whose signature catchphrase is and always will be
420.
Round of applause for the Baron.
I mean, you know I would leave you high. We all know that, right? Never would leave you dry. I would leave you dry, but high, never would I ever not leave you not high, if that makes sense. And maybe I might just be a little bit high today. But, you know, this is what this show's all about. I will have to say it's going to be a great show. I had zero issues with my camera today. So I think we should get another round of applause for that one.
Oh, yeah, for the camera.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's usually about a 10 to 15-minute fix when I jump in the call at 9:28, and that's why we're always late, even though we like to blame Max for that. And we'll continue to blame Max for that.
Why not? Why not?
You know, the thing is, though, that tonight, they know I was here earlier because I already messaged the YouTube, and Mir already responded to me. So thank you, Mir, for being there with me when nobody else was around. All right, guys, up next, a man who has spent more hours studying TNA and Lucha Underground than any other wrestling fan in the history of pro wrestling. Give it up for Jaybone.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
You know, we're not going to talk about the why, but you missed last week. And I did. 2 weeks ago? 2 weeks ago. And had you been here, you would have heard me use that intro then, and it wouldn't have been a shock to you tonight. You also would have heard me tell a little story about John Cena and the treatment that he's currently going through. It's a follicle restoration thing, so don't worry, J-Bone, there is hope for you.
I would only think that I'd have hope if I had John Cena's kind of money, and that's maybe someday, but not anytime soon. Go ahead, Baron.
J-Bone was here last week. You were the one that was
2 weeks ago.
Was it 2 weeks ago?
I corrected myself. I started to say last week.
Okay. All right. I was thinking you said last week. I'm like, no, buddy. Right. That was you that missed out.
Right. I said last week at first, but corrected myself partway through.
Well, it doesn't matter. The only thing I heard was you said J-Bone was gone last week. And I was like, no, you know what, Max? That was you, bud.
Right.
We missed you.
2 weeks ago. Oh, yeah. I wish I could have been here. But listen, for those of you out there that are wondering where I was last week, let me be transparent with you. We've had some major wildfires out here in Colorado. If you haven't been watching the news, you don't want to go see the pictures of how much of Colorado has been on fire this summer.
Not in a good way?
Huh?
Not in a good way?
Not in a good way. The sheer amount of fires that have been taking place here in Colorado, the smoke was atrocious last week. So Monday, my sinuses got all dried out from the smoke, and I had a headache from Monday night until like Friday morning. But I'm feeling better now. The fires are somewhat cleared up, and One of my favorite landmarks in Colorado, one of the most beautiful things we have, is a place called Bishop's Castle up in Rye, Colorado. Despite the fact that the fire was mere feet from it, the castle has survived with no damage. So thankful for that. Thank you to the firefighters that protected that place. At the same time, I'd like to send my sympathies to anybody that lost their homes or business or whatever in these wildfires. It's been bad. It's like a whole section from the Rocky Mountains all the way to California, and from basically the southern end of Colorado all the way north. It's a huge block of wildfires. It's been insane this summer.
So it's not contained, it's still going?
There are multiple fires still going, but some there has been progress made where some of the fires have containment, just they're not out yet.
I mean, it's been so fucking dry and hot.
Yeah, and from my understanding, there is no rain in the forecast for this week for Colorado. So,
no, that's not good.
Yeah. So, up next, the other member of the Ramblers crew for Without You. We'd just be a bunch of idiots talking to each other on a video call. So, give it up for yourselves over there in the chat or in the viewing comment section, wherever you're at. Round of applause for you guys. We appreciate you all so much. So, guys, we are going to be doing our picks for Saturday night's main event later in the show. But first, am I the only one that missed the big cast vignette from Raw last night? Apparently, he has officially been removed from the AEW roster and is returning on August 3rd to Raw. Am I the only one that missed that while watching Raw last night?
Apparently, it was only like a 20-second thing. Like they were coming back from commercial about 2/3 way through the show, and like if you blinked, you missed it. You know, like if you're traditionally start Netflix a little late and then you fast forward through the commercials and maybe fast forwarded a little too far, there's a good chance you missed it. So
that's probably what happened. Because I
missed it on Netflix completely. I've seen the vignette after the fact on social media, but I'm with the commercials. I'm skipping through that quite a bit.
The only reason I saw it, I didn't see the vignette yet, but the only reason I knew about it was as I was pulling up stories for tonight. I was like, "What's this?" And I'll tell you what, we're gonna get right into From the Desk of Max Main, just because I promised the boys before the show that I was going to talk about Big Cass From the Desk of Max Magus, but From the Desk of Max Magus is not about Big Cass, but he's involved. So, From the Desk of Max Magus, at SummerSlam, it's going to be LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys versus Jacob Fatu and Jimmy and Jey Uso. I'm pretty sure this is just a setup for Survivor Series, though. These 6, plus Roman and 3 others, are likely competing in War Games this year. The Bloodline versus the Anti-Bloodline. I had to go back to 2021, a year that didn't have a Bloodline in a War Games match. They didn't have a War Games match to find a card that didn't have the Bloodline in a War Games match in some form or fashion. On the one hand, that's cool. The Bloodline is dominant enough to main event year after year. On the other hand, can we get a different group in the match? Don't misunderstand me. I acknowledge Roman Reigns and the dominance of the Bloodline. But having booked shows before, I know and understand that you absolutely can run a thing into the ground. I feel like the Bloodline in War Games has been done to death. That being said, we have 4 Bloodline members, 3 anti-Bloodline members. That leaves 3 spots between both sides. With the way Sammy's character is developing, I could see him being with the Bloodline. And I suspect that Big Cass's return could be timed the way it is, so that he and maybe even Enzo can join the anti-Bloodline. And this is why I mentioned before the show that I don't think that his return to WWE is going to take place on Raw on 8/3. I think that what the plan is that he is going to make his return to Raw, but he's returning to the WWE on August 2nd. I think he's going to appear during the, or maybe August 1st, depending on what night they're doing the match. But I think he's going to be a big instrumental in that match in some way. The other options include Seth Rollins, Orton, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes. considering that the current mix is LA Knight, Solo Sikoa, and Royce Keys, I almost feel like it makes sense to do Enzo and Big Cass. The anti-bloodline has a disorganized feel as far as how they are connected for this match, and I feel that Enzo and Big Cass might fit that disorganized feel here. At the end of the day, I am truly glad WWE is doing War Games. Maybe we could do that at a different PLE and go back to the traditional 5-on-5 matches for Survivor Series. Although I suppose that would be bad too. Thoughts, Jaybone?
I think as long as we've got someone like Cody Rhodes at the top of the mountain, I mean, I know he's not champ, but I'm just saying he's still a top tier player. He's what does he want to be called? QB1? Jiminy Christmas.
I think the WWE named him that, and he just ran with it.
Yeah. I think as long as he's around or a main focus on one or both of the shows, it's gonna be something that came from his father, or something that his father originated in back in the day. And I love both. I grew up on the traditional 5-on-5 teams. They're a lot of fun. They don't always make a ton of sense, but that's kind of the fun of it. Like, okay, why is this guy with? Okay, well, let's see what happens.
Right.
But the stuff in the cage is always fun. For those that like a little more not ultra violence, but just violence in general. I think that's why they went to the War Games, because people were so tired of the traditional 5-on-5, so they were trying to freshen it up. But I like I said, I love both. I'm good with either one. This whole bloodline, anti-bloodline stuff, I don't see Cass and Enzo getting involved in it, but I do see someone coming in before that all goes down, and I think Zilla Fatu is going to debut before it all goes down, and he'll get involved. That's just a guess. I don't know anything. I don't know shit, but yeah.
I think it's a good guess. I was thinking the same thing. Zilla Fatu has got some part to play. I guess I'm a little bit confused here. Are we saying we want this match to be a War Games? Or are we predicting this match to become a War Games?
I am predicting that we are going to see the Bloodline versus the Anti-Bloodline as the men's War Games match. That's what I'm saying. That I'm
not
about
at SummerSlam,
certain that's happening.
Not at SummerSlam, though, right?
No, it's in November, isn't it, or something?
No, it's Survivor Series in November.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying that we're doing the SummerSlam match as a setup to lead into Survivor Series when these two groups face off in the War Games.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely.
That's a long time.
Yeah, it's quite a ways out. I mean,
we've been building this for at least a year, if not longer, with the LA Knight portion of it.
Can I ask you guys something real quick? Did you guys, because I wasn't around 2 weeks ago, and I don't think we talked about it last week because I was a little late to the game or whatever. Did you guys see the promo he cut on Seth Rollins last week? It was like the most epic, or one of the most epic promos LA Knight's ever done. He had that arena, wherever it was, he had them in the palm of his hand, and they were absolutely deafening in the cheers for him. He basically, to sum it up, he was calling Reigns and Rollins two of the biggest vomits in the industry, and that this whole last 15 years has been wrapped around their little fingers, and it's time for something to change. I agree. I love Reigns. I love Rollins. I love Rollins more than Reigns because I feel like he's got more talent in his pinky bone sometimes than others around him. But he's had a horrible track record of getting injured, and that was part of the promo last night, But yeah, anyways, LA Knight, man, jeez Louise, that is.
Yeah, every time they put the title on him, he manages to get himself injured.
Yeah, Roman Reigns literally cut that promo last night before it went off air. I mean, he brought up a good point, but Seth also came back with a very good promo too. And
then beat the shit out of him.
Yeah. The thing is like they don't know what to do with LA Knight character. That's why he keeps falling into the bloodline, right?
He's not falling into
he's not falling into the Roman Reigns bloodline portion, right? He's always getting thrown in with the other people in the bloodline. And that's my problem with him. It's just a lack of personally, I hope this story does not continue into Survivor Series. If anything, the only thing that I would appreciate is if it did go to Survivor Series and do War Games, Roman Reigns is in that match as well. And it's the LA Knight, Roman Reigns, and that's how we start that story between the two.
Because under my prediction, Roman Reigns is in the War Games match.
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, but I would rather not wait until November for that shit to happen. If we had the same match with 2 additional people for War Games, it kind of loses the. That's the problem with LA Knight. His story loses flavor very fast because we're all over the fucking place with his stories. One minute it's the bloodline, and then it's like Sammy or somebody along those lines, and his story just doesn't make sense. I want him to have a title match of some sort, but he just keeps getting thrown in this 6-man tag match. Like, how could that for SummerSlam? I don't think it could get any worse than that. If I was LA Knight and I had any type of control over my character development, I'm telling the people backstage, get me the fuck out of this bloodline story and let me go for IC title or something.
Here's the weird thing, though, because when it wasn't the bloodline, the one time in the last couple of years where he wasn't feuding with the bloodline or the former bloodline, as it was at one point during this whole thing, it was the Vision he was feuding with. They keep putting him up against these factions.
Well, but the goal, for at least in my mind, is that he's going up against these factions to face off against the top guy in the faction, which is primarily always a champion, whether it's Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, or somebody along those lines. But they never give him that like one-on-one opportunity. I think he's had a triple threat match for the title. I could be wrong. I could be wrong on that, but he's never had a match, but for the title, it's just goofy.
Yeah, I don't know if Rowdy saw this on Unreal or what, but Rowdy was telling me a couple months ago that he found out that the reason they haven't pulled the trigger on LA Knight is he's not hitting what they're telling him to hit when he's doing his stuff. Like, he's missing steps in the things that he's doing when he's at the shows. And the fans are eating him up. Don't get me wrong, but you've also got to be able to follow instructions if you want that top spot.
Far as bullet points and promos?
Stuff like that, yeah.
Okay.
And so I didn't hear it myself. All I know is that I was told that was brought up. And so if he's not hitting everything that they're telling him to, they're going to hold him back. And I get it. The fans are eating him up. And I don't agree with holding him back, but to an extent I do, because part of this business is listening to the people that are handing you your story that's going to put the belt on you. And if you're not listening to them, why would they put the belt on you? You know,
I would think that's more believable if they were talking about his in-ring work, because I mean we've all witnessed his in-ring work, right? He's missed quite a few steps while in the ring. I think his promos are like on par to what they should be. It's just again, like Jaybone was just saying, that promo he cut a couple weeks ago is, I mean, literally a prime example of what he's trying to explain, that it's been the Roman, it's been the Seth, it's been whoever for the last 15 years, and people like him haven't had the opportunity. Now, the problem is LA Knight is not a young person, right? So his time is definitely ticking. But the unfortunate thing is, so is Seth Rollins and so is Roman Reigns, because I don't see either one of those in the company in the next 5 years. I think one of the two is going to be retired in 5 years. The other one might have a very short schedule. So
he turns 44 in November.
Who? LA Knight?
Yeah.
What's Seth Rollins and Roman's age?
Give me just a second. I can tell you. Seth Rollins he turned 40 in May.
The big 4-0.
Which was actually a great part of his promo when he was setting up the match with Roman. And Roman turned 41. He pointed out that they are getting up there. The young guys are coming in and want the spots, and they're not going to be around much longer. So I thought that was a great point because they are. They're in their 40s. I understand that people like Ric Flair and some others have tried to hold on long past their 40s. But realistically speaking, there comes a point where you have to go, I think my body's ready for me to be done with this.
Yeah, and there's also different wrestling mechanics that's happening now than 1970. Not saying that those guys didn't do their thing back then, right? I mean, they were on the road every single day of the week. But what's up, Kane? Like Seth is doing some crazy shit in the ring. So, yeah, it's a great point. I mean, who comes up and takes those spots here in the near future? Who knows? LA Knight, I think, is a guy that could have, if you pushed him 5 years ago, maybe not 5 years ago, maybe 3 years ago, he could have had a breakout like a Stone Cold. And that's what I think pisses me off the most is like he's got the mic work, he's got the persona. They could have really just gave him the ball and let him run with it. But
yeah.
We're going to throw him in a match with fucking Solo and fucking Royce Keys and Fatu and Uso. Like,
I think one of your next big guys, I mean, he's already achieved so much in his time, and he's only been on the main roster for several months. But I think he's going to be your next big obstacle for whoever champion is after SummerSlam, and that's Obafemi, and he's only 28. He's hungry. He wants this.
Yeah, they're definitely going to. It was interesting with the whole Brock Lesnar thing, because this is third time's the charm now, and he's going to put Brock Lesnar out the pasture with this match, which I don't know why Brock Lesnar was laughing the entire time on Monday Night Raw, because I don't know if Paul Heyman farted or something or what, but Obafemi is like, why are you running? He's like, you used to run this place. And what he said was on point. His promos are incredible for such a new guy. He's like, people used to fear you. You never ran before. Why are you running?
Yeah, Oba's gonna be great.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and move on to our next story. We seem to be doing this theme of the summer of friendship, as my friend Eric Angel pointed out. For SummerSlam, you've got Punk versus Cody. You have Seth versus Roman. One person who didn't appear to be taking on a friend at SummerSlam now seems like she might not even make the SummerSlam card. Correct. This story comes to us from Ringside News. Rhea Ripley's meniscus tear could keep her out for months as SummerSlam plans hang in limbo. Rhea Ripley finally confirmed she has a slight tear in her meniscus, but that description does not guarantee a quick WWE return. Depending on how doctors handle the injury, Ripley could be back within weeks or sidelined for several months. A small, stable meniscus tear that heals without surgery can carry a recovery window of roughly 2 to 6 weeks. Ripley has already been out for more than a month, but she admitted that she still cannot properly bend her knee and continues to deal with pain. Ripley confirmed the injury while speaking with Nina Drama, making it clear that her knee is improving but remains nowhere near close to normal. I am injured, unfortunately. I hurt my knee. I've got a slight tear in my meniscus. It's healing. It's getting there and getting stronger, but I can't bend it right now, so I kind of need it to bend. The lack of mobility is a major problem for a wrestler whose matches rely on lifting opponents, running, jumping, squatting, and absorbing impact. Ripley also revealed that the tear is in an unusual location, leaving doctors unable to give her a firm return date. I don't know. I tore it in a weird spot, so it's a little bit up in the air how fast my body recovers. I've been out for over a month now. It does feel better, but it still starts to hurt and throb. I can't get up or bend down really slowly, so I move side to side while crouching. It sucks. The best case scenario would be continued rehab without surgery. A minor tear treated with rest, physical therapy, and controlled strengthening could allow Ripley to return within 2 to 6 weeks, although she would still need to regain full movement and pass WWE's medical testing. If doctors decide to trim the damaged portion of the meniscus through a partial meniscectomy, the recovery window would likely move closer to 4 to 8 weeks after surgery. Many athletes return around the 6-week mark, but professional wrestling places far more stress on the knee than ordinary daily activity. The longer absence would come if the meniscus needs to be repaired and stitched instead of trimmed. That process usually requires several months because the tissue must heal before Ripley can safely resume running, jumping, and taking bumps. A repair could keep her out for 4 to 6 months, with some cases taking even longer. Ripley's comment about tearing the meniscus in a weird spot is also important. The location of a tear can determine whether it has enough blood supply to heal naturally, whether it can be repaired, or whether damaged tissue must be removed. Without the full MRI results, there's no responsible way to lock down an exact return date. That uncertainty puts WWE in a rough position heading into SummerSlam. Ripley had been connected to a potential women's championship defense against Alexa Bliss or JC Jane, but the company cannot build around her until doctors know whether she is weeks away or facing a much longer recovery. Calling it a slight tear sounds encouraging, but Ripley still cannot bend her knee normally more than a month after the injury. Until WWE doctors determine whether rehab is enough or surgery is required, her SummerSlam status remains a complete gamble. Guys, that does not sound good. We don't get to watch SmackDown as often, but didn't even realize she was out. Baron?
Yeah, I mean, she's been out, and I think she's had the same exact injury before, right? Or something very similar. I mean, she's another one. We were just talking about Seth Rollins and injury being champion. She's got the same fucking luck. I mean, I hope nothing but a speedy recovery, but like this is another, like Rhea is the face of the women's, right? Like she is it, in my mind at least, and I think most people would agree. Like there's, going forward, she would be the number one, and in the top 5 just company in general. But yeah, I mean, I don't know what's happening currently with a lot of the wrestlers being injured and shit. They're working less dates. I know they're putting a little bit more effort into their matches, I guess. I don't know, but she's been injured quite a few times in the last few years, honestly. So hopefully speedy recovery to her. This wouldn't be her first PLE she's missing. But yeah.
And it looks like she did suffer a brief knee dislocation during the 2023 Royal Rumble.
Yeah, I remember that. And she was out for a very long time for that, too.
Yeah.
I had a similar thing happen to my knee. My meniscus, it didn't tear. I thought it tore. That's what the prognosis was. But when they went in with the scope and everything, they said it was actually like folded under or something. It was folded weird. So then they just like quick fixed that. It was like a really easy fix. And then, I was right as rain. I'm still having problems with my knee here and there, which obviously bothers me. I'm going to have to get it looked at some point. I'm just kind of putting it off right now. But yeah, that sucks having that. And I imagine if it's going to go on too much longer, they're going to have to take the title off of her, unfortunately. But hey, I love her being champ, but man, we got so much new blood coming up. It's almost like, all right, let's toss some new names in there and really.
And we have Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss. You got the whole new fatal.
She's injured too.
Fatal Influence.
Fatal Influence is gonna just rock.
I know what Baron wants. He wants them to make Liv a double champion. I can see it on his face.
Not really. I mean, like Jaybone said, there's hundreds of women on the roster, but if she's gonna hold the title, I can't imagine they'll let her hold the title if she's out for. You said what?
Months. It could be months.
Could be months. Yeah.
I love the fact that Liv is starting to look like that girl that just played Supergirl in the movies. They're making her look like a half-baked meth head. It's kind of really funny.
Well, if anybody knows Supergirl, she is basically a half-baked fucking Supergirl's insane.
I'm just saying that the girl who played her, people are like, well, why did the movie bomb? Did you see who you picked to play her? She looks like she came off the corner in North Hollywood somewhere. Yeah, let's throw a cape on you.
I don't even know who the hell who played Supergirl. Wait, no, isn't that the girl from House of Dragons?
No.
Are you talking about the new Supergirl movie?
Yeah, the new Supergirl movie.
Millie Alcock.
Yeah, dude. She's like from Game of Thrones. She's a rather big star. But I didn't know this movie already released.
Exactly.
I don't think I've seen any promotional anything for this movie, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. I knew it was coming. I just
well, you're not gonna have to wait long for it to hit streaming. It's gonna hit streaming at the end of the month of July. So
yeah, she played the main character in the first season on Game of Thrones, or House of Dragon, I should say. So she's got the ability.
Oh, see, I haven't watched any of those.
I saw the promotional coming out for it, but I'm more focused on what's coming out at the end of the month. Because I will be at the theater for that. That's the one. So
that Spider-Man movie is going to be sick.
And listen, I really want to see the Supergirl movie, but I wasn't going to go to the theater for that when the movie I want to see this year is Spider-Man. That's the one I've been waiting for. So, all right. I am most definitely a Paul Heyman guy, and I am actually intrigued by what he is doing next. This next story comes to us from Fightful. Paul Heyman is co-launching a media company. A press release was issued to announce the launch of Podrophenia, which WWE Hall of Famer Paul Heyman is part of. Below is the press release. Elvis Duran Group, looking for Larry, and MCM Studios launched Podrophenia, a next-generation podcast and vodcast company built for the future of creator-led media. Side note, this is kind of something that I had wanted to do too. So, hey, good on you, Paul. New venture combines premium production, creator development, audience growth, marketing, and distribution opportunities to help creators and brands build the next generation of media franchises. New York, July 14th, 2026. The Elvis Duran Group, looking for Larry, and MCM Studios today announced the launch of Podrophenia, the next generation podcast, founded through a strategic partnership between broadcasting icon Elvis Duran, WWE Hall of Famer and entertainment executive Paul Heyman, Emmy award-winning producer and storyteller Mitchell Stewart, and media entrepreneur Michael Canzaniero. Podrophenia brings together decades of experience across broadcasting, entertainment production, brand building, and audience development to create a comprehensive ecosystem for today's evolving creator economy. In today's current landscape, where millions of podcasts are competing for audience attention, Podrophenia is built around a simple belief: great content deserves great execution. The company provides creators and partners with the resources needed to turn ideas into scalable media properties, including premium production, post-production, show development, audience growth strategy, marketing support, sponsorship opportunities, strategic distribution. So I'm not going to read the full press release. It goes on for several more paragraphs.
Okay.
But not just because I'm interested in doing something similar, but also because of the fact that it's Paul Heyman. And I think that as long as, I've said this before, love Paul Heyman, put him in the chair of creative and let him do his thing, just keep him away from the money. I think the fact that Heyman is involved in this project, high chance of success. I think this is going to do very well. I'm intrigued by it, and I look forward to seeing what these guys put out. Jaybone?
Yeah, I didn't hear anything about this. Is this why he kind of exited off of Raw?
As of right now, he's not actually exited off of Raw. But I think that he's in the process. I think once Brock Lesnar is gone, I don't think we're going to see much of Heyman anymore. And the reason I say that is if you guys were watching Raw last night, you will see what he said to
the Vision.
To the Vision about, since Maxine did such a good job, why the hell do you need me? So I do think he's on his way out, but I don't think he's out just yet.
No, I can't tell how he said that because he is such a snarky fuck at times.
Yeah.
I can't tell if he meant that as a compliment to her, like she does have a promising future as being a part of that group, or did he mean it as a jab?
I think it was a jab. And the reason I say that is if you've been paying attention to his interactions with the Vision over the last several weeks, Austin Theory saw him doing an interview with Brock or about Brock backstage and said, "Oh, hey, Paul, I didn't know you were here." "Oh, you didn't? Oh, that sucks," and walked away. And then, was it last week? He made the comment that they needed to go out there and show him something, or 2 weeks ago. They needed to show him why he does what he does. And then afterwards, he said, "Hey, you did something right." "Thanks, Paul." "No, I met Maxine," and walked away. I think it's jabs. I think he's walking away from the Vision. I think that's what we're seeing.
Okay.
So, I think you're muted. You're muted.
Sorry. I agree. I think he's going to ride off to the sunset with Brock when, Brock loses his match. And that's what he set in this new thing up for, too. So, and plus, the Vision lost their fucking thing. Seth went out with that injury again. Kind of run that. Had the match with fucking Braun. Didn't put Braun over. Like, I don't fucking know what the hell they were doing there. I do like Maxine kind of being with him, though. Creates a little different.
It is humorous because she literally just got married to someone and now she's all like touchy-feely on someone else. I think it's like, oh man.
She got married to another wrestler?
I don't know who it is. All I know is that she just got married recently to someone because people were like asking him, like I said, I can't think of his name, but they were asking him on social media, "Oh, what do you think about this?" Jumping into the arms of another man and smoochy.
Yeah, well, I wonder how. I mean, Dom's wife was totally fine with the live thing.
His name is Anthony Luke, and he works under the ring name Cam Hendricks.
Cam Hendricks? I have to go Google that one.
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
So
I feel like I should know that, but I don't recognize that.
Yeah, they've apparently been together for nearly 7 years, and they got married on New Year's Eve, this past New Year's Eve.
Oh,
but
okay.
If I'm not mistaken...
Oh, he was on LFG.
Oh, okay.
And then performed on the Evolve brand in 2025. They made an NXT debut on April 20th, 2026. I don't remember any of that.
I haven't watched LFG. I don't watch Evolve, so I try to pay attention to names they're talking about, like when they do show up on NXT for certain things. But if it's real brief,
yeah, same. Hey, kudos to them.
Yeah.
It's about time that shit has happened because Maxine and fucking Austin Theory have literally been backstage in almost every fucking promo for the last 6-7 months now, right? You see him always in the background in promos and backstage segments. They're always far back. They're talking to each other, and I always wonder
I only saw that once.
Oh no! Many times they did that.
Really?
Because I always what the hell are they doing with these two here? But it was never in right in your face. It was always back when they were having an interview with just random people in the backstage area.
They do that a lot. who was the guy that was with the New Day for the longest time this last 6 months plus?
Grayson Waller.
Thank you. Grayson Waller. He was always backstage talking to the New Day. It looked like they were arguing or something. And now the New Day are gone, and now Grayson Waller isn't even around.
Yeah, he wanted to be a full member of the New Day, and they kept telling him no, but they still let him be associated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He's probably still back there just talking to the wall at this point. We just haven't noticed.
Right.
He's talking to the he's talking to the ghosts of Kofi and
I was surprised that they went for the full turn on Maxine last night. I thought they were gonna wait a couple of weeks more before they had her go full on heel mode. But last night, and I'm not upset by it. I was surprised, but I'm not upset by it because I thought it was damn good. I thought she did a really good job with her role in the heel turn last night.
Yeah, it's a good segment.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this goes forth with Austin Theory and Braun and Logan Paul. Like, I like I should say I love the group. You know, it's interesting with the departure of Paul Heyman now. And that just, like, I almost feel bad for him because it's like, oh shit, who's going to steer the ship now? But it's really going to, they're really going to push these guys to a point of, okay, you don't have Paul. You guys really got to step it up now.
Yeah.
You know?
And as much as I hate to say this, they kind of do have a Paul, because really Paul Heyman's a mouthpiece that can help them tell the story. And I hate what I'm about to say. I hate that these words are about to come out of my mouth, but I have to give credit where credit is due. Logan Paul is actually decent on a microphone and would do well as Paul's replacement for the Vision as far as being the mouthpiece.
It's okay, Max. I agree with you.
We've all came to this conclusion ages ago. We hate the motherfucker, but I can't ever deny his
I can't help but respect him.
You can't, because he's actually really good. But he's injured right now too, right?
Right.
Which is part of the reason he's perfect to be the mouthpiece for right now.
Yeah, I mean, they're going to draw a lot of heat every time he's on the mic, because every time he's on the mic, he's getting booed. But he doesn't bring the relevance that Paul Heyman was supposed to be bringing to these guys that needed that. You know, like right. Logan Paul can go his way, be a singles competitor. I don't think Braun nor Austin Theory could really do that. I love Braun, and he should be a bigger star than he is. That loss against Seth Rollins made no sense for his character, but he's
Breaker,
Braun Breaker, so like they need a very good mouthpiece to make them relevant, because right now they're not. I mean, like, it's fun to watch them in ring, and what they did with Maxine's great, but she's not a mouthpiece. She's a valet.
She's definitely not.
You know, so like it sucks to see Paul leaving that group, because they need a mouthpiece to really, you know, all Logan's going to do on the mic is going to get booed for the 2 minutes he's talking, and that's that, and it drowns out everything promo wise that he's cutting, right? So, you know,
look, when I was still doing this, there were nights I would go out at Primo's. I would have my mic in hand. I'd be in the middle of the ring, and before I ever got the microphone to the lips, that crowd I had the heat. I didn't have to say a word, and I drew the heat. As much as I hate saying it about the guy is a natural draw for the heat. As soon as you put that microphone in his hand, they're going to go off on him.
Yeah.
So, and that, among other things, makes him perfect to take over for Heyman as the mouthpiece of the group. He's good in the ring, too. So, as much as I hate saying this, I do want to see him get back to active wrestling once he's healed. But if he's got to be the mouthpiece of the group for a while, it's a good thing, I think. I really do. Speaking of another guy that's really good on the microphone, apparently as good as Ethan Page is, in 2020, the WWE didn't think he was good enough. From Fightful, Ethan Page, I got an email from WWE in 2020 saying they would never hire me. In 2020, Ethan Page made the decision to leave TNA Wrestling after 3 years. As the pandemic was in full swing, Page plotted what he was going to do next, and he didn't think WWE was going to be an option, ever. I have this clip, and I've texted a couple people because I've filmed everything in my life pretty much, especially when I started. Ethan Page recalled while speaking to Chris Van Vliet on Insight, when I was with Evolve, my wife convinced me to get a GoPro and start vlogging, but I had no clue what I was doing, so I just have random footage from back in Evolve, then all through TNA and all through Japan, England, all through AEW. I pretty much filmed as much of it as I could for YouTube, and there was the time I was leaving TNA and I decided not to stay. In that window, I had gotten an email while in Nashville recording the show for Impact, and the email was from WWE telling me that they are never going to hire me. So I had my camera and I'm vlogging. I read the email and I'm like, oh man, what am I going to do? I just told Impact that I'm not staying. AEW was a possible option, but nothing was concrete. Then I get this email being like, yeah, we're not hiring you. Just stop. Pretty much this is the end of the road. It's not going to happen. Just let it go. So I filmed myself right after reading the email and then had a conversation with myself documenting it, pretty much being like, you're going to be okay with this? Or you're going to like shove it up their ass. Page did make it to WWE in 2024 and is now on the main roster as a member of the Raw roster. And I got to be honest, I think it was short-sighted of the WWE to say they would never hire him. I've always been a fan of what Ethan Page brings to the wrestling world.
Absolutely.
Did it possibly help him develop better to not get taken then by WWE? Sure. But to flat out say they were never going to take him, I mean, I don't think you guys were thinking straight when you said that.
I can't imagine that person still working for WWE. I'm just...
Oh yeah. I am thankful that he's there now. I really enjoyed watching him during the gauntlet match last night. These last few weeks have been entertaining with him. I was a little disappointed that Joe Hendry was the first one in the match, which told me that he was probably not going to advance through. You could have at least given me a little hope and put him somewhere in the middle. I think we all knew it was going to be Chad Gable at the start of that. But beside the point, Ethan Page is very entertaining, and I'm very glad that he's in WWE now. Baron?
Yeah, I agree. I got his T-shirt in the other room. It's great. Just like Jaybone, I think that person is no longer in WWE at this point. And I think there's a lot of people that, didn't want certain people in there, and they kind of proved themselves. Like Ethan Page had a really good run in NXT, and so it's good to see him on the main roster. I hope they develop him a little bit further. But yeah, I'm glad he's around.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a fan of Ethan Page going back to Evolve and TNA, and I enjoyed what he did in AEW, but after a while, it just I just faded away from AEW as a fan. I mean, I still like to keep tabs on, who's doing what, but do I watch it? Do I take the time to watch it? No. But yeah, it's the stuff that Ethan Page has been doing throughout the years is just, I mean, my favorite thing from 2017, and I've said this before on my podcast and others, was his rivalry with Darby Allin was amazing in Evolve. And this is like prior to WWE scooping up a bunch of indies like Evolve and all that stuff. This is back when Matt Riddle was a part of it. This is back when Drew McIntyre was still a part of it and others like that. So yeah, that goes pretty far back. It was so much fun to watch. Yeah. But yeah, Ethan Page is in a great spot right now. He's getting used a lot. I think I'm biased when it comes to certain people, and I'm like, just fucking throw a belt on him already. But no, his time will come.
All right. How do you guys feel about 2-night PLEs?
I feel much better than a 10-hour fucking block I have to make for AEW. But when they're still doing 2 nights, they still do not get everybody on the fucking shows, and that's what drives me insane.
Well, up next, let's get into Baron's buzzkill. From Ringside News, WWE has discussed turning Royal Rumble into a 2-night event. WWE's 2-night SummerSlam experiment is not exactly setting the ticket market on fire, and that could create a major problem for the company's next big expansion idea. SummerSlam is being stretched across 2 stadium nights, but the ticket push has been slower than expected with the event closing in. That raises a bigger question about how many WWE shows fans are actually willing to buy twice in the same weekend. That is where Royal Rumble comes into the picture. Ringside News has learned that WWE has already discussed turning the Royal Rumble into a 2-night event. Nothing has been finalized, but the idea has been on the table as the company continues looking for ways to expand its biggest premium live events. The format would be easy to split. WWE could place the men's Royal Rumble match on one night, the women's match on the other, and build separate cards around both. The real issue is whether the demand is there. 2 arena nights could be possible, but trying to fill a stadium on back-to-back nights would be a much bigger gamble. SummerSlam's week push may force WWE to think twice before making another major event a full weekend commitment. WrestleMania has proven it can support 2 nights, but that does not mean every top WWE event can pull off the same trick. Royal Rumble may have the structure for it, but SummerSlam could end up being the test that decides whether WWE ever goes through with the idea. WWE has discussed a 2-night Royal Rumble, but whether it actually happens may depend on how badly SummerSlam's current ticket push finishes. Ringside News will continue to keep us updated if the 2-night stance has changed. Now, before I hand this over to Baron, I want to point out that I have said before that if you're going to go to 2-night PLEs, like you have done with WrestleMania, like we're doing in 2 weeks with SummerSlam, 2.5 weeks, you need to keep it to the big 4. You don't want to go further than that. I'm not 100% sold on the big 4 going to 2 nights, but not beyond that. Definitely not beyond that. Money in the Bank shouldn't be a 2-night.
No.
King of the Ring probably shouldn't be a 2-night. That's my opinion. Baron, where do you stand on the possibility of Rumble going 2 nights?
I'm kind of for it. I think that is your WrestleMania, your SummerSlam, like you said, the big 4. I'm actually big 3, really. Let's just do WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Royal Rumble. Those should be the 3 2-nighters, right? Those are the biggest moments, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Royal Rumble actually makes more sense than any other show going 2 nights because the men and the women's Royal Rumble, right? And what happens when you put the women on the first? The rest of the show, the 2 other matches are just fall flat, and you only have 2 other matches, and then you have the men's. So, actually, that's a really smart idea. Now, when it comes to the ticket shit, I'm not going to talk about tickets anymore. I'm sick of it. It is what it is. People are still fucking buying the goddamn things regardless. And you know what? The best way to solve it is lower the pricing. They're not going to do it. But anyways, I'm for the 2 nights Royal Rumble. So there's no buzz killing happening here. I agree. Let's get a couple highlighted matches on both nights, title matches, because last Royal Rumble we just had, they missed out on 2 title matches at Rumble. One of them was in the Royal Rumble itself. So yeah, I'm all for that. I think it'll actually be beneficial. We'll get some matches because the roster is 10 times bigger than when they ever have had a Royal Rumble. So yeah, kudos to them on that idea.
Hey, let me say something that could change your opinion.
It's not going to change.
This is TKO WWE we're talking about. The potential for them to go too far in that direction is there. It wouldn't be the first time they've done it, especially not in most recent years since TKO has taken over. If we split to 2 nights, feasibly, we could see them screw it up, and you have Raw women one night, Raw SmackDown women the other, Raw men one night, SmackDown men the other. I'm just pointing out that TKO has done worse. It wouldn't surprise me if they went that route.
Oh, you're saying so? Like one night it would just be a women's Royal Rumble for Raw, and then SmackDown on.
So like Saturday night, we'd see the SmackDown women and the SmackDown men with Rumbles. And then on Sunday night, we'd have the Raw women and the Raw men would have Rumbles. It would not surprise me if they went too far and did that.
Yeah, I see what you're saying, but like there's no way because there's not even 30 women on the Raw or SmackDown's roster completely to be able to do that. They could pull NXT people, absolutely, but there's not enough women on the roster to even do that, I don't think. But
I'm sure they still have Trish Stratus's number somewhere.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can call up a lot of people, but it takes away from the Royal Rumble, and I think that's just one fucking thing they would not touch. I mean, I've seen worse shit from Vince McMahon than I'm currently seeing from TKO, where I think the disgruntled fans of WWE currently is primarily the ticket pricing, right? I mean, the booking, I've watched plenty of AEW. The booking's 10 times worse over there. I've seen it all. I've watched wrestling 30 fucking years of my life, and I have literally seen every single thing. So I would not be surprised if they did do that. I mean, I just don't think they have the roster to be able to do that. And then it really takes away from the long-term storytelling of Rhea Ripley winning who's she gonna face situation, right? I think that would be stupid. But you never know.
Yeah. All right, guys, let's talk about one of the most popular wrestlers of the last 30 years. And yes, he debuted in WCW 30 years ago, August of 1996. He has since worked in the WWE and AEW. Would you guys like to guess who I'm talking about before I reveal it?
You said in AEW as well?
He's worked WWE and AEW.
Jeff Jarrett?
And he debuted when?
August of 1996 in WCW. When I tell you guys to break the walls down.
Oh, Jericho? Fuck.
From Fightful.
I totally forgot about him, to be frank.
Chris Jericho says, I think when I'm done, people will be sad that I'm not around anymore. Chris Jericho thinks fans will miss him when he's gone. Jericho has been the subject of much criticism over the years, with many fans saying that he should wrap up his in-ring career. The former AEW World Champion has often dismissed his critics, saying that he will only retire when he is ready to do so. Speaking with Fox News Digital for a new interview, Chris Jericho predicted that people will be sad when he isn't around anymore. I think it's like a great rock and roll band, you know? I mean, Rolling Stones just put out a new album. It's amazing, but the Stones have been around 60 years, and some of the eras you like, some of the eras you hate, some of the eras you wish they would have gone away, and some of the eras you wish they would have done more. And you're still glad that they're here. I think when I'm done, people will be sad that I'm not around anymore. Jericho continued on and said that fans will eventually realize that he was doing something pretty cool. I think a lot of people that you mentioned, social media-wise, they don't like me just because I'm still doing this will realize, like, hey, we had something pretty cool here. We should have been watching a little bit more, because all I ever do is give my best 1,000% for whatever situation I'm in to make it better, to make my opponent better, to make me better, to make the company better, to make the show better. And I'm very proud of all the work that I've done. That's why I still do it. That's why I still love wrestling and making documentaries involving wrestling per se, because I think it's such a wonderful sport that really does tie the world together. Wonderful form of entertainment. I lived my dream doing something that I always wanted to do, and here I'm doing it almost longer than anybody else at a high level. I think that's something to be proud of. He also earlier this month revealed that he has a role in an upcoming series that is produced by Michael B. Jordan, but that's neither here nor there. And I'm gonna, something I thought of while reading his comments is how many people spent years and years and years booing everything John Cena did. And then when social media was a thing, going online saying this guy needs to retire, Why is he a thing? 5 moves of doom. I hate this guy, Super Cena. And then spent his last year going, why are you leaving? Why won't you stay? And I'm going to be honest with you. I see the same thing happening with Jericho. That same group is bitching that he's around. When he leaves, they're going to be, why are you leaving?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, don't get me wrong. Love Jericho. But there's a point in your career that you should go out in. Right? I think that's John Cena did a kind of pretty fucking good. There's definitely some things we didn't like, but he went out his term kind of situation, and he was good from day one to the end of days, no matter how you viewed it, whether in ring, on the mic, he was excelled at one of the two. Jericho's always been great, love him, but his run in AEW, from what I have followed, is just it has not. The learning tree was okay in the beginning, right? But like, it's just kind of flat now. He's having matches with wrestlers that are 10 times better than him, and it's making him look extra sloppy and slow. I still think he's good in the ring. I'm not trying to bash him by any means, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if he was to go out in 2 months, retirement tour AEW, I don't think it meant as much as it would have been 10 years ago. And let's say the, Kevin Owens Jericho saga in WWE, right? That's my personal opinion.
I think there's if he ever does decide to come back to WWE, like I think a lot of WWE fans want him to, because, and it's not the tribalism. I just think they don't want to start watching something else just for him, and they have no interest in anything else that's going on over there. And that's fine. That's, it is what it is. But I think if he does hang it up while he's in AEW, the response is not going to be as big as if he decides to do some kind of farewell run in WWE. There's going to be a lot more eyes on it. It's going to get a lot more attention. There's going to be a lot of people. If he does a send off in AEW, there's going to be a lot of other wrestling fans that are going to be like, years down the line, hey, is Jericho still around? What's he been? Oh shit, he's done. Oh, bummer.
Exactly.
Now, I just got to say that while the learning tree was fun, the Inner Circle was the best faction that he was part of in AEW. So, all right, guys, let's talk about some AEW news very briefly. And the only reason we're doing this story is because of who's mentioned in it.
Is Jaybone mentioned in this fucking article? God damn it.
I will say this. You're very close. The person whose name is mentioned in the article starts with a J.
See, we might be on something here.
From Ringside News, Tony Khan wanted Jim Cornette involved in AEW before launch. Tony Khan may have built AEW around a fresh vision for professional wrestling, but he still had his eye on one of the most outspoken old-school minds in the business. Dave Meltzer explained on Wrestling Observer Radio that Khan wanted Jim Cornette involved with AEW, even as the company's founding group worked hard to avoid bringing in veterans who could drag backstage politics, manipulation, and old wrestling habits into the promotion. Meltzer made it clear that Khan's interest in Cornette was real. Although he did want Jim Cornette, I mean, that is true. The comment came while Meltzer compared Khan's leadership style to Dixie Carter's run in TNA. He argued that AEW's decision makers were careful about which veteran wrestling personalities they brought into the company because they did not want AEW turning into another political mess behind the scenes. Meltzer said the group knew certain experienced wrestling figures could offer valuable advice, but they were equally concerned about what else could come with them. For the most part, he avoided the guys, and there are guys who could help him in a traditional way. Meltzer then brought up another unnamed figure who was discussed by AEW's key players before the company officially launched. He did not identify that person as Cornette, but said everyone involved agreed the individual had a strong wrestling mind. The problem was that they feared hiring him would create the exact kind of company they were trying to avoid. It was basically acknowledged that the guy was really, really, really smart, but we don't want that company. We don't want to be that company, if you know what I mean. The concern was not about whether the unnamed person understood wrestling. It was about the possibility of backstage games taking over the locker room and turning people against each other. If we get him, we're going to have all kinds of backstabbing, people playing each other against each other and all that, which is going to inherently happen. But they were all smart enough to know, yeah, this guy can help us, but this is not the company that we want. Cornette never became part of AEW. He spent years ripping the company. Khan and several members of the roster from the outside. Still, Meltzer's statement shows Khan was at least interested in bringing Cornette's wrestling mind into the fold before AEW became what it is today. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. There is no way in hell that Cornette would have even met with Khan if Khan had reached out to him back in the day, because they already had it made clear what AEW was meant to be, and Cornette did not like that idea. He was opposed to it and still is to this day. There are things in Cornette's wrestling brain that I don't agree with, but I also understand the man and know that he wouldn't have had anything to do with any part of AEW even back then. I really think that it was Peruvian marching powder fueled delirium that led this guy to think, I should reach out and think about possibly getting Jim Cornette in my company. Ben?
I mean, dude, I don't. That was too much. I could give two fucks about Jim Cornette ever being any part of anything anymore of my lifetime. You lost me at Jim Cornette. I hate to break it to you.
Actually, I brought the story up because Jim Cornette's with us about Tony Khan.
I'm sure he is, but also, I don't care enough about Jim Cornette. Whether you know what I'm saying, it just
the cult of Cornette.
Yeah, it's just he doesn't pique my interest at all. I feel like he's a piece of shit. Just like Dave is. These guys they're always going to be the best bookers and know everything about wrestling, right? And that's what I hate, that arrogance about some of these journalists sometimes. And Jim Cornette is one of those people. Though if he was to get to AEW, it could have maybe made it a little bit better. I mean, he wasn't a terrible booker, but what I know.
He does rub a lot of people the wrong way, and I always go back to the show that I saw locally, very close to where I used to live, when MLW came to town, and Sami Callihan was wrestling that night, and he got into a fight with someone on the stage, which is where the commentary was, and Cornette was there. It might have been during his match with someone, I forget, but anyways, Sami Callihan actually spit at Jim Cornette and then took off like a bat out of hell, and the whole place just roared. It was like, oh my god, he was so bad. I think he left MLW that day too. I think they both were done. But man,
the Dairy Queen thing is one of my favorite Cornette stories. If you haven't heard the Dairy Queen thing, Google it. It's worth your time. All right, guys. Ordinarily, I would try to avoid stories like this next one. They don't always bring out the best in everyone. However, I think Ryan Nemeth deserves to have awareness brought to what he has gone through. What he dealt with is wrong, and his reaction in the face of that is worthy of talking about. Our next story comes from Ringside News. Ryan Nemeth exposes abusive DM filled with homophobic and racist slurs. Ryan Nemeth just put one of his nastiest DMs on blast, and he barely had to say a word. Nemeth took to his Instagram story and shared a screenshot of an abusive message he received from an account called Brendan Philly. The sender unloaded on Nemeth with a stream of personal insults, homophobic slurs, and other offensive language, while also taking shots at his brother Nick Nemeth. The message also appeared to reference another person, but the wording was too unclear to determine exactly who the sender meant. The sender repeatedly insulted Nemeth's wrestling career, claimed he had never driven a dime, mocked his appearance, ripped into his brother, and ended the message with a racial slur. Are you a little bitch, Ryan? I just thought I'd message your... This one's a slur, so I'm not repeating it. Ass, bro. Because I'd see you a lot trying to matter and shit, and you're a complete same slur. Bozo, bro. You were enough to get me to message you, but leave my NAA CM Punk alone, brother. You're not a draw. You never driven a dime. You look like a homosexual. You look on screen like you like to have sex with men. Leave this business to the real men who know how to work. Your brother is a sorry excuse for a wrestler who never drew a dime. Okay, you're nothing like him. He's okay wrestler, but you nothing. You don't deserve to speak. Please, Ryan, for the love of God, shut the fuck up. You white little... And I'm not going to finish that last part because that's a double racial slur there. Ryan's response was a lot shorter than the DM itself. Seems nice. That was all he wrote. Ryan Nemeth didn't get into an argument or add any further commentary. He simply posted the screenshot, tagged the account that sent it, and let his followers see exactly what landed in his inbox. In another reminder of the kind of abuse wrestlers can receive online, but instead of firing back, Nemeth answered with 3 sarcastic words and moved on. Technically, it was 2 sarcastic words. He said, seems nice. Listen, I have...
I can't believe he put that message I sent to him on there. I'm kidding. I appreciate Ryan Nemeth, and I love his brother. So, yeah.
Listen, you have some cognitive issues, Grandpa, but there is no way that you accidentally spelled your name Brendan Philly. There's no way.
It's just another personality.
Who's that Twitter person out there with that name? Like, isn't there like something Philly, like a famous Twitter column and like journalist or something? That's what it reminded me of when you mentioned the Philly thing, because there's like Jay Philly. There's somebody that's super popular in the wrestling world that's a journalist with the name Philly on Twitter and Instagram, and I can't fucking think of him. Maybe I'm thinking of somebody else. Oh no, I'm thinking of JD New York NY.
Yeah.
JD NY. Never mind, not Philly. All right, my bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, listen, people are fucking stupid. I imagine if every celebrity went to go look at fucking their DMs, you're gonna see some bad shit. Props to Ryan on playing that out. But again, a brief reminder: wrestling fans or people in general are just fucking stupid. And yeah, that's all I got.
Listen, part of the reason that I wanted to talk about this tonight. First off, let me give a shout out to Ryan Nemeth. You handled that very well. I applaud you. I'm not sure that I would have kept my response that tempered. I probably would have flung my own stream of expletives back at the person. So I applaud you for that. But here's the thing. Ryan Nemeth has an opinion about CM Punk. If I understood the message, this guy's issue stems from Ryan having an opinion about CM Punk. Here's the thing. You disagree with his opinion about CM Punk, great. This is not how you go about it. In fact, some of what you said in there could be, depending on the jurisdiction you're in, could be treated as cyberbullying, which is a crime. So when you do stuff like this, keep that in mind. Remember that, first off, Ryan Nemeth is a person and does not deserve to be treated this way. He did nothing for you to treat him this way other than have a different opinion than you. He said something negative about a guy you liked. Oh, great. I do that all the time. Secondly, are you willing to face the punishment that may come down for what you're doing? And that could be one of two things. You could face legal repercussions for that because, like I said, it could be considered cyberbullying. Secondly, let me tell you a little story about a show I was working years ago. Not only was I Max Magius, but behind the scenes, I was also the head of security. And we had seen somebody in the crowd throwing soda cans towards the ring during the show. So I grabbed security. I split them up. I put one guy on each corner. I took a corner, and I was out there dressed as Max. I wasn't out there in like security gear or anything. So I guess you could say it just looked like I was out there watching the show. Well, just so happened that can went flying from not far from me, and it actually hit one of the wrestlers in the face. It just happened to hit this guy. By the time I got over there, and I wasn't far away, that wrestler cleared that barricade and had that kid up like this. That kid's feet were off the ground. That wrestler was in his face. He was screaming at him. I put my hand on his shoulder. I said, hey, let me handle this. Put him down. I'll take care of it. He looked over, didn't recognize me, kept going to town. I said, hey, I got this. Let me have him. I'll take care of it. Looked at me again, went back to yelling, and it took me 3 tries to get through to him to say, hey, I got this. I'll take care of it for you. You go do your thing. I'll deal with him. So I get the kid, security, and I get him out to the little foyer, and there's the outside door, this little entry area, and then the doors into where we were doing the show that night. Northland PD just happened to be on site watching the show. I had 2 officers there in the building. They came over, met us at the doors. They took over with this kid. And they talked to him for several minutes, and they said, well, I think what we're going to do, because we saw what happened, is we're going to let you leave. If you have the keys to the car, great. But you're not allowed to go back inside to get them if you don't have them. You're not allowed to go back inside and tell your friends that you're being kicked out. We're going to let you go stand outside the building and either wait for the show to be over or, I don't know, it's up to you. And, if the wrestler you hit with the can gets outside before your friends do, we didn't see anything. And they set him out the door of the building, and they went back inside to watch the rest of the show. Is it frowned upon for wrestlers to do what the cop just told the kid that he was going to let the wrestler do? Yes, it is. Can you use it as a scare tactic? Oh, yeah. I'll tell you the rest of the story in just a second. If you're going to send a message like this, just know that in some parts of the world, they will let that wrestler put their hands on you in retaliation. Just keep that in mind. Now, to finish that story, because it's a great story, I walked back in. I talked to the officers and said, that was kind of nice of you guys. I mean, even if you're making him wait outside for his friends, it would be a shame if Don Juan got out there before his friends did, wouldn't it? They said, yeah, it would just be terrible if somebody went in the locker room and warned him that kid was waiting outside the building and we told the kid we were going to be hands off. I said, yeah, you know what? I've really got to head back to the locker room, guys. I will talk to you guys in a little bit. Thank you for your help. I went back there. Don Juan came through the door, and I said, hey, Don Juan, Northland PD says that he's kicked out, that he can't go get his buddies. He has to wait for them outside. And they said, if you get out there before his buddies, they didn't see anything. He goes, kid, you think I should go out that door? I said, I think you should go out that door. Don Juan went out the side door of the locker room. That kid was standing there watching the entrance as people are coming out, watching for his friends, watching for anybody else. He saw Don Juan, and he took off running. About that time, his buddies made it to the exit and saw him running, looked to the left and saw Don Juan standing there. I heard one of his buddies go, shit, and they took off running as well to the car. They got in the car. This kid was already out of the parking lot by the time they got to the car. These guys floored it and pulled out of that parking lot. Northland PD looked at me and said, oh, they're speeding. You have a good night. And went and lit them up. So, the moral of the story is,
that's funny.
Don't mess with a pro wrestler. It doesn't end well for you. All right.
Yeah, that's a great story. I love it.
That is funny.
But yeah, the moral of the story is correct. Don't.
All right, guys. We got one thing left we got to take care of tonight. This Saturday, Madison Square Garden. It is Saturday night's main event. If you don't watch it, You are cursed. Just like we would have been if we had not told you all that Danhausen sponsored our show tonight. Please don't curse us. We don't want to be cursed. So we're going to start with Dizzy's picks real quick because I have them. And then I will move on to you, gentlemen. Then I'll give my picks after.
Okay.
So the first match that we had on the list was Danhausen versus JD McDonough. I have very specific instructions on how I'm supposed to deliver this pick, and that is that Dizzy did pick Danhausen, but he gave the eye roll as he did it.
Dizzy's got to be the only wrestling fan on earth that does not like Danhausen, and right? I don't understand why.
But he went with Danhausen, so, okay. I'm not going to, up next, we have Paige and Bree versus Fatal Influence, Laney and Fallon for the women's tag titles. Dizzy went with Fatal Influence on this. Up next, we have Bayley versus Lyra in a bit of a grudge match because of everything going on. Dizzy went with Lyra for this. And finally, we have, this is the whole card that we know of at this time. Punk and Cody versus Gunther and Sammy. I need to also read you what he said here. He's got Punk and Cody going over in this. He thinks Sammy's going to do something to cause himself and Gunther to lose the match so that we build up to see Gunther versus Sammy at SummerSlam. And those are Dizzy's picks for Saturday night's main event. Grandpa, do you want to go next?
I'm laughing at my wife's comment.
Oh,
okay. I know two people now. I know two now that don't like Danhausen.
It doesn't like Danhausen. Okay.
Yeah, apparently.
Careful, babe. You might end up being cursed.
Yeah. Don't want to get cursed. We're already cursed, so we hate for you to be cursed on this.
But yeah, give us your picks in the chat.
Oh,
yes.
Yeah. Thank you, Mir, for pointing that out. Danhausen versus JD is no disqualification. That means that Dominic will probably get involved, and that means I'm even more certain that Danhausen is going to win this match.
Yeah.
So, all right, Grandpa, you are up next. We're going to start with Danhausen versus JD McDonough, and go.
Oh man, I appreciate anyone that gets involved with this. I mean, because they're getting some rub off of Danhausen. I think a lot of people like his character. Yeah, there's obviously going to be people that don't get the gimmick, don't appreciate the gimmick, and what the hell is this kid doing?
But, it's on the screen, Jaybone.
Oh my God.
Damn,
One of us.
Yikes. Love you too, babe. And we still have to talk nice about her too, because there's stuff about her that we have to get to after we do the predictions.
And listen, I just want to point one thing out. Baron and I don't have to live with her. You should be nicer than we are.
Oh, I'm always nice. She knows that. You know that, right, babe?
It doesn't take back the fact that she's cursed already.
I got no response to that, so I'm a little worried. All right. I got a feeling I am cursed. No, I am definitely picking Danhausen on this one. He doesn't have to win everything, but for something like this, it's they're gonna set this up for something fun. I'm a little surprised we didn't see what was at the end of this whole science experiment.
We haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
Although,
I got a feeling we may see it at maybe Saturday night's main event. I got a feeling.
We may have actually seen it Friday night. So the rumors for months have been that Baron Corbin will be returning as the science experiment. And from my understanding, Baron Corbin did make a return appearance on SmackDown.
He did. He did. Yeah, I was. He got quite the pop too.
He got a good pop. I like
Yeah,
the pop.
yeah. So that's a good sign, because if he came out the crickets, it'd be like,
I can't remember much. Not to derail this real quick, but I mean, Baron Corbin was. I mean, he was over most of his time in WWE, right? I mean, I'm just drawing a blank on most of his shit.
He was, and they did Sad Corbin for a while, which I didn't understand at all. They made him like a homeless bum, which made no sense. And I mean, but he did everything well, It just what they gave him to do at times were just I don't get it.
Yeah.
But he's obviously proven himself outside of the WWE. So we got a few comebacks coming to the company, so it should be interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah, Danhausen's definitely going to win that one.
All right. Up next, we've got Paige and Brie Bella versus Fatal Influence for the women's tag titles. Who you got?
I got to go with Fatal Influence. I love the fact that we're doing a nostalgia run with Paige and Brie Bella, but man, if I got to hear Brie Bella's theme one more time, it's my god, it's like nails on a chalkboard.
But please, for the love of God, continue playing Paige's theme. All right, up next we got Bayley versus Lyra.
Ooh. I'm going with Lyra on this because I think we're seeing a new chapter for her, and I think we saw part of that last night on Raw, and she looked like she was all sorts of messed up.
Yeah, she actually kind of looked homeless on Raw last night. That was
like what she was wearing was kind of tattered. She was kind of twitching. She was kind of looking around like she was mentally off. So the fact that she's kind of going through what Bayley was just on a different level is interesting.
Yeah, I think it's weird that they just kind of stopped doing the Bayley part of that, and suddenly Lyra's. Unless they're going to say it was a virus that Bayley managed to pass to Lyra.
Oh, God.
All right. Up next, we got Punk and Cody versus Gunther and Sammy.
I hate these kind of matches. I really do.
Same.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be entertaining, but it's always will Cody and Punk be able to survive together against it? Oh, boy. We already know that Gunther is going to absolutely slap the crap out of Sami Zayn at one point, I think it's going to be more annoying than anything, but God, I don't know. I'll go with Cody and Punk.
All right. And that brings us back to the Baron. Danhausen versus JD McDonough, no DQ, and I'm not expecting an eye roll out of you.
You won't get an eye roll out of me. I'm going with Danhausen on this one. This is a clear-cut winner. Some fun shenanigans is going to happen. Going to get the crowd excited. Open the show with this match. Let's get it going. Give me Danhausen.
It'll be awesome.
All right, up next we got Paige and Brie Mode versus Fatal Influence for the women's tag titles. Who you got?
Has there been title changes on Saturday Night Main Event lately? I can't recall. I just feel like it's a weird show to make a title change, but I think this would be one of those matches that would happen. So I'm hoping, for the love of God, Fatal Influence takes the belts off of him. I think there has been. I feel like John Cena literally won a title at Saturday's night, main event about a year ago, right?
Well, actually, according to this, the most recent championship change on the broadcast occurred on May 23rd of this year when Nia Jackson, Lash Legend, defeated Paige and Brie to win the women's tag team titles.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Well, I'm still taking Fatal Influence. I think they need to go ahead and take those belts off of them.
I can't wait to see what they continue to do. And
yeah, they're great. I do enjoy them as a tag team.
All right. Up next, Bayley versus a homeless person.
I'm going with the homeless person. I think the homeless person is going to win, and I think she, Bayley never comes out on top anymore. She's always taking the beating, like Bayley, right? So I think Lyra. This is obviously the heel turn happened Monday, and yeah, beat the shit out of her.
I do disagree with one thing Lyra said, but I understand why she had to say it. Bayley was not the worst member of the Four Horsewomen. That person is now in a different company and can go suck an egg. All right, that brings us to Punk and Cody versus
I totally forgot about
Gunther.
her.
All right. That brings us to Punk and Cody versus Gunther and Sammy.
I agree with Jaybone here. I hate these matches. I don't care. I think it's just let's throw the big names in a tag team match, let it rip, right?
Holla holla.
I don't, man. It's gonna nothing's. I don't know. This is the last match that I want to see on this card, to be frank with you. But if I have to pick for pick's sake, I feel like Gunther and Sammy's got to come out top. We don't give these guys. Punk and Rhodes can't win fucking everything, right? Like, let's let the heels get over. Let Gunther beat the shit out of all three of them because he personally can, and he should be in the title match, to be frank. Yeah, let's go with Gunther and Sammy.
Maybe they do. Maybe you're right. Maybe Gunther and Sami Zayn do win because something goes on between Punk and Cody.
Yeah.
Some miscommunication.
Exactly. So give the heel guys a win. Feed that fucking feud between Punk and Rhodes a little bit more, and
right.
That's probably not what's going to happen, but that's what I want to happen. And that's what I'm picking.
Honestly, it does make sense, but yeah.
All right, so let's run down.
Mine?
All right, let me. It's not too late.
No, it's locked in.
It's not locked in until we go off air for the night. If you want to change your mind, I will change it.
Oh, bullshit.
No, I won't.
No, change it. I don't give. I'm giving shit. Put down Junkyard Dog for him on that match.
Junkyard Dog is going to be the special guest referee in the match between.
Oh, Lord. And that's this Saturday, right? Yeah.
And Goldust will be the timekeeper. And he'll interfere.
Hell of a show.
All right, let's run down my picks real quick. I think it's very obvious that not only did everybody else go with it, but I think you all know me well enough. Obviously, I went with Danhausen over JD McDonough and Dominic Mysterio. Paige and Brie versus Fatal Influence. This was kind of a tough decision for me. I could have easily gone with everybody else and chosen Fatal Influence, especially because I would love to see them win the belts. I think they are amazing. The problem is I don't think WWE is ready to pull the trigger on Laney and Fallon as tag champions just yet. I think Paige and Brie are going to hold on to these belts a little longer. Not that a title change on Saturday night's main event is unheard of, but I think you're going to want to put it on Laney and Fallon on a bigger stage like SummerSlam. Up next, we have the split personality versus the homeless person. We're all in agreement on this. The homeless person is going to beat up the split personality. And that brings us to the main event of the evening.
Oh, boy.
Punk and Cody versus Gunther and Sammy. I was already going with... I already had my picks typed up before you guys gave your reasons for who you were picking. So let me just be clear that I had already decided who I was going to go with on this before even Dizzy had said what he said. I am going with Punk and Cody for this. I think Sammy's either going to cost them the match or he's going to become more interested in something else, something I've already mentioned. So we'll see what happens there. But I'm going with Punk and Cody for this match. And if you check the messenger, you will see what I did. Thank you, Baron, for the suggestion.
JYD and Bruiser Brody.
And that's how he ends up picking wrong.
They're
just for the record. Just so we're on the same page there, Mrs. Jaybone. It's because he sometimes won't pick, or when he does, he is unsure what he wants to do. Like, for example, at the TNA Slammiversary picks, he would not only would he not pick whether it was going to be Mustafa Ali or his opponent, he wouldn't pick a prediction as to who the opponent was going to be. So I just put down Fabulous Moolah for him because, well, I needed something to put in that spot. So,
and I said, "Oh, that's great. You know, she's been pretty quiet for a while. You know, why not?"
A surprise return, this dude.
Yeah.
You know what's fucked up though is even when he has these weird fucking like selections, he still gets all the other matches right. I don't remember what card it was. It might have been the last one. It was like the most oddball fucking pick he could have had, and he picked it, and it was right. All the rest of us were wrong. I don't remember who it was. I think it was the last card. Oh yes,
Sammy
it was Sammy. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, there was no like. I don't know. It was just a match that, you know, like I feel like I could read stories very well in wrestling, but that was one like for the ages of like, what the fuck? Sammy just won the belt? I think half the world thought the same thing, right? And then Jaybone's like, Sammy. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Told you.
All right, guys. That is going to do it for Ramblers Unleashed tonight. Until next time, Baron, how can they find you?
You can find me at the Scumbag Jordan, I think on Twitter. I'm not sure if you can find me, and I'm going to be frank with you. Don't know what's going on there. We'll figure it out, though.
Look for the cloud of smoke. Grandpa, how about you?
You can follow me on the old Twitter at Jaybone5150. That's JAYBONE 5150. You can also catch me every Thursday over on that other little podcast called Total Nonstop Impact. Yeah. And we're doing all things TNA.
And listen, I don't know if I mentioned this on one of the Ramblers shows before, but I would like to point it out now. Jaybone's name is actually, the number is very well known in parts of the U.S., specifically in California. It is a section of the California Welfare and Institution Code that authorizes the involuntary temporary psychiatric hold of individuals experiencing a mental health crisis. Qualified health professionals or police officers can place someone on a 5150 for up to 72 hours if the person is deemed a danger to themselves, a danger to others, or gravely disabled. Also, there is a country singer that sings a song called 5150. Now, I bring this up I brought this up for two reasons. I wanted to make fun of Jaybone just a little bit with it, and I did. If you are feeling like you're having a mental health crisis, there is help out there. Please reach out, call a friend, message us. Hell, we don't really do much. Just shoot us a message. I mean, during the day, I'm a tech, but I have my phone in my hand quite a bit during the day because that's part of being a tech. Jaybone's old, so he may not know how to work his notifications. But please feel free to reach out and talk to somebody. We do have some new stuff going though before we go off the air. Jaybone, would you like to talk about that for us real quick?
Sure. So we added a person to the team. You may not see her on the podcast that much, but behind the scenes, I think she's going to be busy, and she's going to, slowly get into this role, and I'm really proud of her. And I'm going to help her a little bit just because she's not super familiar with how we do certain things. But as far as just posting, I think it'll become quite easy in time. But Mrs. Jaybone, yes, folks, my better half, is now the Ramblers social media manager. So a round of applause for my
executive social media content manager. She's got a large title here. Let's not underplay this big title.
She's gonna want a plate for her desk if you keep that up.
Officer. Let's not forget officer as well.
Chief manager, officer, executive. Wait, what have I gotten myself into?
CMO, chief.
We're giving your wife
officer. Boom.
We're giving your wife a more prominent title than yours.
Oh, dude, I'm just
and mine, and Max's, and Dizzy's. We're just assholes. That's our title.
The best is when we actually come up with the official, like all the initials to go along. Like CEO. You come up with all the initials, and then it'll like after her name on social media. That'll be hilarious.
Yes, let's do that.
So her first post as part of the team came from our Instagram. Yes, it's a new Instagram. Go follow below. The link is in the description. And she's so excited about this. She said that over the next week? Or what's that? 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how it goes. Whoever signs up and subs for the YouTube channel and Instagram and proves it in a DM to the Ramblers Instagram, which is going to be run by Mrs. Jaybone. If you prove that to her, and if you are interested, she will send out some stickers. The Ramblers Unleashed. She just made these tonight. I love them. These are 3x3s, and they're square, and I love them. And
square. Sorry.
I'm way too old to be hip.
You can't even talk about hip without actually dislocating it.
Yeah, I think I dislocated my hip with that fucking lingo he just used there. But we love that. Square. Go follow us on Instagram. Show some love out there.
And there's gonna be more social medias to come. Like there's gonna be a TikTok.
Yes.
There's I don't know what we all said we were going to do.
I think we're going to ease into the Instagram and then TikTok. There might be a new venture. We're going to try to go TikTok live. I think that's where TikTok is the largest platform out there currently, right? Like it is number one.
It's kind of scary. I hear a lot of people dance on there. I'm not sure why. But
also, don't forget to follow our MySpace page.
Wait, what? Hold on. Let me go to MySpace.
No.
Yeah, we got some things cooking. We got a CMO on the squad. Yeah, positive things. But those are great. I might unsub to resub and
just to get some
to follow. Yes. Yeah.
So if you are interested and if you're excited about the show and you would like to get some stickers, please hit up Mrs. Jaybone on the Instagram. You can slide into her DMs. I'll let you this time. And I know I just opened myself up to a whole new mess there. But and also
see, it's not just me. Look.
The link is in the description for the merch as well. Brand new merch page. Right now, the only thing on there as far as logos is this logo, the Rambler Unleashed logo. There is going to be more to come, but it's a work in progress. But there is bags, shirts, stuff for your office, hats, joggers, you name it, it's on there. And, only the thing that's probably not on there is the kitchen sink. So yeah,
I've got that in my backyard.
that became a new you put a potted plant in there, I'm guessing.
No, I just kind of set it in the backyard. It's just sitting there right now.
It's all
so if you want it, come on by. It's in the backyard.
You should make it a potted plant. That's what people do. They stick weird shit in their yard. Like I had a friend, they put all their shoes growing up and put it in front of their garden and then planted stuff in the shoes.
Yeah.
If I want plant that's a pot, I'll go to the dispensary.
I know a guy. Anyways, but yes, we're thank you for actually Max mentioning it and my wife saying yes. So that's twice my wife has said yes to me, for the record.
I figured she puts up with us anyway. She gives her time with you to us, lets you spend time with us at least once a week. I figured it was only fair that she be brought into the team since we do dominate your time like that. So thank you for joining us, Mrs. Jaybone. Definitely the much better half of the duo.
Well said.
All right, guys. Thank you, Mrs. Jaybone. So real quick before I give out my socials and the Ramblers socials, we also still have Rob Ryzin's book, In Demand Indie, down in the description. If you have not picked up this book, please do. I can't say this enough. Ryzin is one of the most brilliant minds that I've had the privilege of working directly with. And this man can help you build a career, whether it be wrestling or if you want to market yourself in some other way. He is a very helpful person when it comes to that. Please grab the book. It's on Amazon right now. You can follow me at Max Magius. It says it like right here on the bottom left of my screen. You can follow the podcast at Ramblers Pod. Find us over on Facebook, Instagram, Discord. I mean, we're expanding our social media presence, and that's why we needed someone that could handle our social media presence, and that's why I suggested Mrs. Jaybone to the guys. I figured she should be able to handle our social media presence. She puts up with the senile guy sitting next to me on screen. So if you enjoyed tonight's show, please hit that like button. If you aren't already subscribed, please consider subscribing. And remember, if you subscribe and you prove that you subscribed here and you go follow the Instagram and then DM the proof of both of those, we're going to send you stickers. Well, Mrs. Jaybone's going to send you stickers and we're going to thank her for doing it. Look at those things. Don't you want those? Hit the bell to be notified maybe because, we're not always on time. We blame me every week when we're late, even the weeks that I'm not here.
I will hit that outro right now. Don't you even try to shade me and say it's my fault.
I wasn't saying it was your fault. All I said was we blame me every week, even when it's not my fault. I'm pretty sure the guys blamed me last week when they went on late, even though I was down with a headache and I wasn't even here. I told them long before. But
you sure did.
He was down with the sickness.
Yeah. All right, guys. Go watch some wrestling. Get out of here.
Peace.
Have a good night.
Thanks for tuning in to Ramblers Unleashed. Follow the show on social media. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.